to hear is Coach talked about in that video clip about body language and kind of the selfishness of me. Oh well, I didn't score, or I didn't contribute, or I didn't get time into it, so I'm not excited. Talk about what coach or what the expectation about body language, because in this clip he said if he looks to the bench or he sees on film body language is poor, he's not going to play. He's not going to play you. And he talked about a previous player that was a very good player, obviously one of the best, right? That played at UConn and how she got benched. So talk about that as your final thing, body language and how you present yourself and attitude towards your team.
I definitely think that body language here is like an expectation. It's not something that he talks about every year. It's not like at the beginning of the season he's like, "All right, remember body language." Like that's just kind of a standard. And I think that just one of the like super important things of body language is like also for the other, I mean, not just for yourself, but I mean, we're competing on a national television, so like if you want yourself to look like that on TV in front of like the little girls that look up to you, I think that that's like one of our biggest things. Like we just like we are always presenting ourselves in a way that like we wouldn't be embarrassed of after the game. Like you don't want to like in the heat of a moment of a feeling like react and then like kind of regret that. And I think a lot of people like get kind of carried away and they forget that like there's hundreds and thousands of people watching. But definitely like that's not something that coach ever goes over. That's just like he shouldn't have to talk about that. That's just kind of something that But I mean, it's also kind of one of those things that like you don't want your competitor to like see your reaction because I mean, I know for us just like being on a team, like if someone else reacts a certain way, like we are constantly like, "Oh my gosh, do you see that girl?" Or like she's in her head, like something like that. So like it's also like it's about like the way you present yourself definitely, but it's also about like just what the like you don't want them to think that they're in your head or they beat you or like something like that. But I mean, definitely it's just an important like it's super important for us just because I mean, not only are we on like the top stage, but like it's also just like a UConn standard that like you don't present yourself based on like a in the moment kind of feeling. And I think that that's just always been something that like they've gone off of and like I mean we're normally on like the top stage so like there's a lot of people watching and like they don't want that to have like an image like their program to be represented by something like that. So I do think body language is super important just because like it goes a long ways. I mean your facial expressions like your that kind of stuff it speaks a lot like it speaks very loud. So I think that it's just really important to constantly like fix your face or like just make sure you don't look like you like just like something terrible has just happened. Because I mean, like our coach is always like, "What could you be that upset about? Like you are playing at the top level, have your education paid for. Most of us do. Like it's just kind of one of those things. Like pick your battles."
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for taking time. And I know Middletown appreciates you remembering everybody here. And I know you're probably in contact with a lot of your friends all the time. And we can't wait for you to come back.
Yeah.
But most excitingly, we're excited about the tournament. And, thank you so much and best wishes in the tournament.
Yes, thank you.